We are live, Buff Nation. What's going on? We have a fantastic piece of news. Surprise. Number 2 overall receiver in the country, Cederian Morgan, is on a surprise visit today in Colorado. I mean, some of you guys were calling me out in the comments. Dave, you didn't talk about him in your video about, well, just pull this up. Javeion Cooper visiting today. You can see he's right there in the photo. Was I trolling a little bit? Yeah, but I also wanted to make sure I had time to go live to talk about this. To be honest, I absolutely love this. The Blue Bloods are in shambles about this. They have to be. Cederian Morgan, he's already been here once, guys. He already visited around the time of the spring game or at the spring game. It was sometime in May. And what? This isn't an official visit, guys. He's coming out on his own dime. And for that, we got to put on the Ralphie horns. We got to celebrate this. Shout out to Corey Phillips. I hope they enjoyed Snooze down on Pearl Street. But I mean, maybe next time take them to the Buff, man. I just like the Buff, but you can get great food at Snooze as well. Big fan of Snooze. If you didn't know this, Snooze, although they're a national chain, they are based out of the Denver Boulder area. So it is kind of local in that sort of sense, guys. But smash that like if you guys are pumped about this. We're going to break down, take a look at his tape. Who else is recruiting him? Pretty much everybody and their mama. And join the conversation, man. What you guys think about this piece of news? So he's a top wide receiver in the country, number 2 overall. I think Chris Henry Jr. is the number 1 overall wide receiver, but he's a 99 overall guy in the composite, the top player in Alabama, 6'4", 210, 24/7. Comps him to Savion Williams. Might I say he's probably even better than Savion Williams. We'll turn on the tape here in just a minute, but you can see here, I mean, he was crystal balled. We'll start over here to Alabama and Auburn in 2024. No commits right now, so we'll see how all this shakes out, but you can see, I mean, he has been visiting a ton of teams and is set to visit Alabama tomorrow, actually, June 19th. But Auburn, Florida, Georgia, Colorado, all in the mix. Jason Phillips, Corey Phillips, all these guys putting on the full court press. And then we will be bringing in the closer. That's right, Coach Hart, to wrap up this recruitment. Let's freaking do it, Buffs. But let's check out his highlights. Look at his junior season stats there. 73 receptions, over 1,100 yards, and 15 touchdowns. Holy moly. So I think you guys are going to enjoy this. We'll react to it. And Stevie Davey, man, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Just enjoy these highlights, man. Imagine Julian Lewis hitting Cederian Morgan down the field for these types of like, he's looking like a power forward out there, just mossing those dudes in the end zone. And you put a smaller guy on him in one-on-one coverage, try and press him, man. It's not going to happen. We need that lot. Corey Docs, you're absolutely right. You can't miss on a guy like this. I love it. I think it's very interesting that he's crystal ball to both of those Alabama schools and hasn't committed yet. Is the new house settlement truly going to even the playing field for aspiring new bloods, not blue bloods, new bloods like Colorado versus some of these blue bloods? We're just going to have to see. But Stevie bringing up a wonderful point here. A push before a Bama visit. Not bad. It's perfect. Chef's kiss. You'll love to see it. I'll read the 24/7 scouting report on him while I'm running these highlights. This was Gabe Brooks. Said, reminds me of Savion Williams. This was written on May 1st of this year. Evaluation echoes that of a luxury sports car. Shador, slow down, by the way, man. What you doing? You don't play for Georgia. All right, he didn't write that. Let me get back to it. Big, smooth, and powerful. Plays with obvious horsepower, accompanied by some encouraging physical refinement and nuance in regards to fluidity and locomotion. Dominant in contested scenarios as a consistent high pointer who exploits significant physical advantages versus smaller defenders. We've seen this throughout this highlight tape. Owns an enormous catch radius that gives a quarterback a large target throughout the route tree. I like my wide receivers tall. So does Coach Prime. Immensely productive with huge receiving numbers and even some limited defensive reps. Excellent multi-sport profile that includes averaging a double-double in hoops, an Alabama 6A high jump silver medal. Oh my gosh. And a 21.74 200 meter. Good Lord. Size and track speed suggests that another top end gear in pads exists and therefore consistent downfield separation ability. Shows encouraging short to intermediate route snap and leveraging ability, especially considering size. Uniquely gifted as a pass catching target with outstanding physical tools and athletic chops. Projects as a high major impact player with traits that suggest long term NFL draft high round potential. So it sounds like, he's got a little bit of growing to do in some of the intermediate and short game route running. But as you can see, just an insane physical specimen, athlete or athletic beyond belief. And definitely when you take a look at him being a 6'5", 200 plus pound guy already at the wide receiver position with some top end speed to get past the all the levels of the defense, kind of reminds you, shades, if you're from Colorado, shades of some Demarius Thomas, right? Shades of Calvin Johnson. I know I'm throwing around some big Ring of Fame, Hall of Fame type names, but when you're talking about the number 2 wide receiver in the entire country built with this frame, that's what the upside is going to be at this point. Yeah, great high point catcher. He's going to be a big time red zone threat. He's going to be able to take the top off the defense. And remember, some of those guys, we're talking about jumping from Georgia Tech, both of those players to the NFL. Demarius Thomas was a little bit more of a project, maybe closer to Javeion Williams with his route running, as opposed to, Calvin Johnson just seemed like the ultimate package. When he came out and got drafted by the Detroit Lions, but had to grow in some of those nuances of the game. But similar to Javeion Williams, the athletic talent, it just pops off the charts. Playmaking ability. I mean, look at that contested catch right there. This is very, very exciting. I think that this is a great sign for the progress that we are making in recruiting him. The fact that he would come out before a visit and hang out with us in Boulder, with some of the other recruits out there, absolutely love it. And hopefully, I'm sure he had some nice conversations there with both Caden Salter and, most importantly, Julian Lewis. Look at this. I mean, just imagine putting him in the slot. He's going to be a mismatch no matter where he's at over the field. So, yes, anytime we're talking about a wide receiver that is 6'4", 210 pounds going into a senior year of high school. Yes, please sign me up. Sell the farm for him, right? Hopefully we can get the right NIL dollars looking right to get him out here. You guys know, Colorado, we have to be selective with that. We can win some of these blue chip guys. We don't win all of them, but we do win, a few of these guys every year or so. So, is Cederian Morngan one of those guys? Right now, out of all the guys we've had visit, I think we got the most momentum with him. We're talking about five stars. And the Lakers sold for $10 billion, guys. What a day. They sold for $10 billion. Don't give a damn. I knew you were going to say this. Dave, why would you have conversations with Caden Salter? He won't be there next season. To meet the players that play for the Buffs. It ain't that deep, man. It ain't that deep. Dude, don't give a damn. I need you to just take a deep breath, man. Everything's okay. Everything's okay, my guy. It's all good. It ain't that deep. Juju gives the Buffs the edge over Auburn, no doubt about it. Bama, you're absolutely right. It's going to be difficult with them having Keelan Russell, the Duncanville 5-star quarterback out of Duncanville, Texas. You're absolutely right. But I love the fact that we're in this conversation. So I think that this is going to be a lot of fun, man, to see how all this develops. We got this dead period coming up in next week through the start of fall camp or so. It would be nice if we get, our third commit in the class, right? I feel like every single recruiting video, man, I'm hearing you guys say, "Are you worried, guys?" I'm not worried, man. We're gonna be able to field the team. We're transfer portal centric. That's just what we are. I don't personally agree with that philosophy, but that's how we are choosing to build the team. So I'm not worried in terms of not being able to field a quality team. Could this hurt our long term upside? Maybe so, but yeah, under Coach Prime, I'm just not going to panic when it comes to some of this stuff. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. Don't give a damn, man. But it's par for the course, Stevie. It's par for the course. We have not locked in a quarterback for the 26th class. We haven't locked in much. Jordan Clay and Cederian Morgan. Oh my God, says Keith Stunsel, one of my members of the channel, so-called buff buddies. One of my best buff buddies. Jordan Clay. Let's just pull up that 24/7 here as well. Take a look at him. Out of Madison High School, which is just, short drive away from me down here in San Antonio, Texas. I feel very good about his recruitment as well. He's a 4-star guy, 6'3", 200 pounds. So you guys know we already got some big time tall trees here in Boulder that Kane Salter, June Lewis are going to be able to hit down here in 2025 and beyond. And I love the fact that in both of these guys could still hit another growth spurt. Let me just say that. They could end up 6'5", 6'6". Dennis Rodman didn't have his growth spurt until after he graduated high school, guys. So, the odds are probably slim with that, but there's still a possibility. These guys could get even taller. But, I mean, how can you not be pumped up about this? And if we're able to also get the services of Javeion Cooper, guys, man, who was it my friend Weedy that brought up in the Guru chat? Bro, when I was looking at Javeion Cooper, there are not guys that look like him. If he was just a little bit taller, he would be a 5-star. I'm right there with you, man. You don't find offensive linemen. Go check out that video from earlier today on Javeion Cooper. They're not offensive linemen, man. Not many that move like him, especially his ability to get to the second level and absolutely obliterate his opponents. That's rare. So he might be a 3-star guy, an 87 overall guy by 24/7. Do not care about that when you look at the athleticism he brings. And both of these guys obviously fall into the category of going after superior athletes. Let's have Jason Phillips coach Cederian Morgan on the nuances of route running. We'll have Gunnar White and the rest of, our 3-headed offensive line coaching monster coach somebody such as Javeion Cooper on the nuances of developing as an offensive lineman. But what you can't teach sometimes is, you can't. Just insane athleticism. I love it. I'll get to a few more of your comments here. Stevie Davy, if you're going to get down to your 5th player on the depth chart, you got bigger problems. So I don't mind the roster too much. Exactly, man. You see NFL teams play with they're bringing guys off the practice squad and stuff like that. But you got 53 plus another 16 or 17 on the practice squad. So what is that? 70 guys? Yeah, we got a roster bigger than that right now. And hopefully we can stay healthy this year. I don't think the turf's going to impact that in a negative way. I think it's going to be a positive way. And by the way, the turf looks absolutely fantastic, just like the Cederian Morgan highlights. 1,100 yards, 15 touchdowns there in Alabama for his junior year. And he doesn't go down on contact easily. The field does look immaculate. Oh, my God. I'll get to these. After Sincere Brown leaves, the tallest wide receiver will be Hakeem Williams. Morgan and Clay would be needed. Is Omari Miller, is he 6'2"? That's That's like a short, tall guy, right? I'm with you. It would be nice to have some taller guys as well. What's Joseph Williams, 6'1"? And Keith, you got me pumped up about this. I'm surprised now thinking about it. I haven't done a video on this. Deacon Schmidt. Yes, we need the sink making a Deacon Schmidt burger. And you can just call it the Schmidt burger, man. That already rolls off the tongue really well. A Schmidt burger. He's committing, is it next week or towards the end of the month? That's going to be a lot of fun, man. Field does look immaculate. Yes. And yeah, here's the thing, don't give a damn. Most of these college football teams play on turf. Ohio State plays on turf, right? Won a national title. That study about the turf in the NFL causing all this stuff, that was done like 15 years ago, man. Not worried about the turf at all. The technology has improved. And if anything, man, that grass field we've had, especially over the last few years, has been a detriment to our team. It looked absolutely terrible on television. Absolutely terrible. And those little things, man, people take notice of that. It looked like a high school field. You got dirt patches, guys slipping all over the place. And I think the biggest reason why I'm a fan of this turf right now is that it's going to highlight our speed. We won a national title on AstroTurf. We can do it again, baby. Ohio State plays on grass. Well, then maybe I'm thinking about Notre Dame. But like Texas plays on turf. Yeah. Yeah, Notre Dame plays on turf. My bad. Oregon plays on turf. Who else we got? Penn State. Are they let's see. Yeah. Penn State's on turf. So, I ain't even tripping. Ohio State plays on turf. Let me look this up. I'm just going off the cuff here. Yeah, Ohio State, also known as the Shoe, has a field turf playing surface. So, yeah, all the top teams do. We practice on turf all the time. So, Penn State is grass. Google AI, man. See, look at this. New artificial. Maybe that's another field. Anyways, guys, all that to say, way more college football teams play on turf, man. And you don't see all of them tearing ACLs. That's all it is, man. Paul Simmons, hope you're doing well. You pumped about the Tigers this year? In the age of the portal, starting quarterbacks are far more apt to transfer in than be recruited. So I don't think a hole in that position really is a problem. And wonderful point. I think right now in today's age, it is like AAU every year. That's just what it is. I would like to see us focus on high school recruiting more. Maybe this new house settlement allows us to, maybe it limits the amount of movement and guys in the transfer portal moving forward. I'm not an expert on this stuff, so I don't really know if it truly levels the playing field or will limit any of that. I need to research a little bit more about this buyout stuff that I've heard about. That could be nice. That could be nice for college football. And has the transfer portal gone down to one transfer window yet? I don't think that's official. So until we get some things put in place that kind of curtail the insane amount of movement that we have from year to year right now, I would understand why Coach Prime wants to focus on the transfer portal more than high school guys, if a lot of those guys might just, go up and leave. So Indiana's old school turf. Penn State is grass. What do we got? Again, Texas, their turf. Most of the schools in the Big 12 are turf as well, and, we played great on the road. One of the places in which we did not look fast and we didn't look ready actually was on grass there at Arrowhead, against Kansas Jayhawks. So, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun playing on this beautiful turf. Again, the production value of this is gonna look great, and again, I just think I'm trying to think, if we were looking at data for something else, like quoting data from, like, 15 years ago, I don't even think that's allowed in, like, academic papers. So, yeah, I don't care about any of that. We'll see. Hopefully, I'm not jinxing us, but, yeah, we're gonna be faster. It's gonna highlight our strengths, and again, we practice on this stuff, all the time, and we don't have any ACL tears. I'm trying to think, when can you guys, remind me which game our right tackle, Philip Houston, tore his ACL? Was that on grass or was that on turf? The night games are gonna look absolutely brilliant, man. The production value in the stadium as well as outside the stadium, it's gonna look great. And guys, don't forget, we got State Farm as a field sponsor this year. Will we eventually go after a stadium naming rights deal? I would love that. We need to bring in as much money as we can. It was near the last game. Trying to think. I'll pull up Philip Houston's PFF right now, but Cederian Morgan, man, the fact that he's coming out here, it's great. It's a great sign, man, that he's out here before his Bama visit. Just cancel that. I was saying with the offensive lineman that visited today, Javeion Cooper, just go ahead and cancel that visit you got scheduled for later this week with Nebraska. You can just fly over Lincoln on the way back home, and that's all. You've seen it. You've seen it. All right, Philip Houston. Let's see here. He tore his ACL. Oh, how about that? Against the Kansas Jayhawks on grass at Arrowhead Stadium. So, how about that? Keith, you beat me to it. How about that, man? Any word on the upgrade of lights and production to the stadium? I don't know, man, but we need a new sound system, which is funny because we just replaced our sound system and it sounds terrible. So there's a lot that needs to be done. Yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, is Vickers healthy? I got no idea. I got to be honest, guys. I have not watched any of like the well off or Darius videos on the summer conditioning yet. I haven't. I got to catch up on that. But I think overall we're in a good place right now. These recruiting visits are incredibly exciting, and we'll see, man. Can we get a Schmidt burger in the sink? Can we have Coach Hart close on a blue chip linebacker? Join me in prayer. Vickers is practicing. It's awesome to see, man. I think one of the more underrated athletes on this team. So we'll have to see how it all goes, guys. Thanks for checking in. I'm going to be doing some individual videos throughout the week on all the guys that I've visited over the last week. You guys can see their highlights, just kind of see how they move, what they bring to the table. It's just going to be a lot of fun. And hopefully we'll have, just one commit. I'm not trying to create an unrealistic expectation, but can we get our third commit for the class of 2026? Dang, right? Y'all have a wonderful day. Go Buffs.